Hello students, let's move on to the next unit, unit number 5, David and Goliath. David and Goliath is one of the most popular stories taken from the Bible. It is a lesson of courage, faith, and overcoming what seems impossible. David was a little shepherd boy who defeats a giant named Goliath. Dear students, I am going to show you a small animated story of David and Goliath. Let's watch. During the reign of King Saul, there lived a young boy named David. David became a noble and mighty warrior and eventually grew up to be a great and powerful king. David was the youngest of all his brothers. His 3 elder brothers had to join King Saul's army, and David stayed home to look after his father's sheep. When David was very young, there was a war between the Israelites and the Philistines. The Philistines wanted to make the Israelites their slaves. The Philistine army was on one mountain and the Israelite army was on another mountain. One morning, the Philistines sent their strongest and the most fearsome warrior into the valley. His name was Goliath. He was 9 feet tall and carried a very large sword. Goliath shouted loudly, "I am Goliath! I am the strongest of all the Philistine warriors. Who will fight me? Send your bravest man. If any man can kill me, then all the Philistines will be your slaves. But if I win, you will be our slaves." King Saul called out, "Who will go to fight Goliath? Who will save Israel?" None of the Israelite soldiers wanted to fight Goliath. They were too afraid of him. No one thought that they could beat such a powerful warrior. Goliath waited for many days. Every day he cursed and laughed at the Israelites. Goliath spoke with an evil laugh. "Ha ha 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 ha! Is no one brave enough to fight me? Are all of the Israelites cowards? Ha 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 ha!" King Saul was very disappointed with his army. He desperately searched for someone who could beat Goliath. For 39 days, none of Saul's men would agree to fight Goliath. Saul had almost given up hope. He was afraid that the Israelites would lose the war and become slaves to the Philistines. Then on the 40th day, God sent someone to save Israel. On that morning, David, a young shepherd boy, came to the Israelite camp with food for his older brothers. When David heard Goliath cursing and laughing at the Israelites, he became very angry. David pushed his way to the front of the soldiers and declared with confidence, "I will fight him. He cannot harm me because I am an Israelite and God will protect me." "Go home, shepherd boy. You cannot fight Goliath. You are just a child," said one soldier. "You are a foolish child if you think you can fight that beast," said another. But King Saul did not think that David was a fool. He knew that David was braver than any other man. He also knew that God would protect him. King Saul looked at David earnestly and said, "David, how will you fight Goliath?" David did not back down. He said, "I am brave and strong. On my father's farm, I once killed a lion that was attacking a sheep. Another time, I killed a bear that came to take away our sheep. If I can kill a lion and a bear, then with the help of the Lord, I can kill this beast. Saul looked at the rest of the soldiers and said, If no one else will go and fight Goliath, then I will send David. David, may God be with you. King Saul gave David armor and a sword. But the armor was too heavy and David did not know how to use the sword. So David threw down the sword and took off the armor. He picked up 5 stones and put them in his pocket. Then he grabbed his sling and ran towards Goliath. When Goliath saw David, he became terribly angry and shouted, What is this? You have sent a boy to fight me? How dare you cowardly Israelites send this child? Where is your sword, boy? Come to me, child. I will kill you at once. But with confidence, David said, No, it is I who will kill you. For God will protect me. It is you who should be afraid. At this, Goliath became furious and charged at David with his huge sword. But David calmly reached into his pocket and pulled out a stone. Then he loaded the stone into his sling and aimed it at Goliath's head. The stone hit Goliath's forehead so hard that Goliath stumbled and fell with a huge crash. Then David took Goliath's own sword and killed him. David looked up to God and said, I have trusted in God, and He has saved Israel. When the Philistines saw that David had killed Goliath, they ran away in fear. But the Israelites chased the Philistines and defeated them. From that day on, David became a faithful servant of Saul. I hope you understood this story. This story is given in your textbook in 3 parts, part 1, part 2 and part 3. There are 5 powerful life lessons from David and Goliath that you can learn from. These 5 life lessons are: be bigger than your fears. When David heard Goliath's challenge, he immediately accepted it. He did not think about his size. He just placed his trust in God and with confidence killed Goliath the giant. So, dear children, we should also have trust in God. Second, size doesn't matter. David did not see the size of the challenge. Similarly, children, we should not be afraid of the problems and challenges in life. David did not kill with a sword but with a tiny stone. So, with self-confidence, let's defeat our problems. Next, make use of what you have already. Many people complain that they do not have this, they do not have that, so they cannot win the competition. But children, stop making excuses. Goliath was strong and had a sword and armor, but David did not compare himself with the Goliath and he killed him. Next, believe it's possible. If your fears are stronger, then you will never be able to achieve your goals in life. Believe in yourself and show confidence. Next, don't underestimate your capabilities. David did not underestimate his abilities and capabilities. So, children, stop underestimating yourself. Believe that you are capable of much more than you believe. Here I am ending this video. Dear children, read your textbook and watch this video again and again. In the next video, I will be sending you the PDF and discuss all the textbook activities. Thank you.